So I was in the middle of a live event, and that's what I looked like. Stunned, surprised.
Hello?
And I'm calling you on behalf of the Norwegian Nobel Committee. And it's a great pleasure for me, Maria, to inform you that at 11 o'clock local time here in Oslo, it will be announced that you are awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for 2021 for your courageous fight for freedom of expression in the Philippines.
And I think what the Nobel Committee is saying is that these times that we're living through right now, that freedom of expression is under threat, that journalists are under threat, and that we're not alone. This is for all journalists around the world. I think on two fronts, the first is the rise of these authoritarian leaders. What consolidated their power was social media, technology. And that's really the second one. What social media has done is it took away the gatekeeping powers from news organization, and it treated the algorithms of amplification, the algorithms that determine what will be distributed to its users. So the world's largest distributor platform for news actually spreads lies laced with anger and hate faster and further than facts. The design of the platforms are taken from the design of a casino, right? So it's actually mildly addictive. So when you're on the social media platform, the goal is to keep you scrolling, to keep you on the platform. So look, if you don't have facts, you can't have truth. If you don't have truth, you can't have trust. You need to have trust to have a working democracy. So if you don't have any of these, you don't have democracy. You can't have any kind of shared reality where people can solve problems. So what does that mean for climate change, coronavirus? So to me, it's very alarming what's going on. Rappler was created in 2012 because we believed in the power of technology. We thought that technology could help jumpstart development. And what happened though was, from 2012 to 2016, it was incredible. We were able to try to actually use social media for social good, for social change. And then in 2016, it all changed right before the election of Duterte. That was when I realized that you could weaponize social media. And we were among the first targets. When you're the target, you're the only one that sees all the attacks against you. No one else really sees it all. What they see is kind of a manufactured consensus, like the narratives that are told, the lies that are told about you. The meta-narrative for journalists in the Philippines is journalist equals criminal. And then, you say that a million times, then the president says it a year later, then a week later we have the first subpoenas and the weaponization of the law. This is how it's become death by 1,000 cuts of our democracy. The reason why Rappler came under attack are two. The first is we exposed the government's propaganda machine, the way social media was weaponized. But the second is because we refused to stop following this brutal drug war. In less than 2 years, the Philippine government has filed 10 arrest warrants against me. I've been arrested, detained overnight. I've had to post bail 10 times in order to stay free. I'm no longer allowed to travel internationally. When the government attacked me, I was already old. I already knew why I was doing what I was doing. When people describe you as fearless, it's not that you don't feel fear. You just learn to manage your fear. And then there are 4 of us who are co-founders of Rappler, and we have a pact. Only one of the 4 of us can be afraid at a time, and then we just rotate. this time is important because that's exactly what the Nobel Committee said, right? The democracy is only as good as its journalists who ask the questions, who demand answers for the people. I always say when we're in a battle of facts, journalism is activism. I think if we don't fight for our rights, we're going to lose them. I've seen Thailand, like the Philippines, go through so many cycles. You know, the military coup, and then it just the cycles of history repeat itself. But the thing is this, like, you have the ability to change it. And I think that's the power journalists have.